Oh, people are here. Hey, everybody. Trying to get my camera to work correctly here. We got it up, but I have a feeling it's going to be backwards. So let's just see here real quick. I can never remember if my view is correct or what you guys are saying. So I have YouTube up here in the background and wait for it real quick to pop up. Seems like there's a pretty good delay. Okay, so it is upside down for you guys. So I definitely need to fix that. So let's flip it. There we go. Almost clicked close on OBS. That was a close one. That was a close one. I'm gonna give a little time here just for anybody else to hop in. Upside down Delta. Yep, as per usual. As per usual, something goofy's going on. Happy to see everybody here. Let's see what's going on. Congratulations on 20K. I still remember when your newest video was Starscream Cruelty as a prize. Thank you so much. It has been quite a ride. We've been here less than a year with the Delta Tryon account, and we're already at 20K, so very humbling, very exciting to get to that. Hoping to get 20K more at some point. At some point. All the regulars here. So originally, my plan was to do kind of a big, woohoo stream for 20K. I mean, this is the 20K sub stream. This is just gonna be a little more casual, because what I decided to do instead was go ahead and kind of wait for the 1-year anniversary of the channel, which I believe is in June or July. I don't ever remember. And then we can do a bigger stream with maybe some guest appearances and some maybe a giveaway. I don't know. I haven't figured that out just yet, but the 1-year stream celebration will definitely be more exciting than this one. This is just kind of a last minute. I felt like streaming. Mrs. Tryon is out of town, so I thought, hey, you know what? Why don't I spend some time streaming and chatting with all of you guys? So, congrats. Feels like just yesterday those first couple Skybound videos came out. I know, Slonk. I know, and it's definitely kind of a full circle moment as we approach the 1-year anniversary of the channel, now that I'm kind of shifting myself back towards Skybound content. Is the camera upside down again? Hold on a second, guys. This is not right. This is upside down. Unless the stream is frozen. Hold on. There's a decent delay this time for some reason between stream. Oh, there we go. Interesting. Oh, it's just mirrored. I see. Yep, 1-year anniversary is on June 13th. Thank you, Delego Man. Well, it's going to be, again, it's going to be a very simple stream today. We're going to I thought it'd be fun just to kind of hang out and chat. Let me move this second keyboard. I don't need 2 keyboards here. Look at some comics and stuff I recently got, and then probably take a look at preview for some upcoming videos. I say upcoming videos. What I should say is an upcoming video. And then one video in particular, which actually, let me check right now. Okay, I just had to fight YouTube on some monetization things, and it does seem like it's been fixed. So there's Asher. Oh, I need to post to my Discord that we're live. Guys, if you're not in the Discord, if you are a channel member, hop in. It's a fun time. You don't have to be a continual channel member. You know, you don't have to keep up that payment plan with YouTube to do it. Once you join in, you know, you're good to go. So, and you know what I'm going to do here? I'm actually going to go into Swizz Prime's server and push the the stream there as well. I know. Such a horrible person. There he is, Swizz Prime. Speaking of which, Mr. Skybound is in the chat, guys. Just gonna put this guy right here. I talked about this recently in a small video. This guy, these one-step changers are really fun. I know people like to clown on them, that they're just so simple and boring, but this one is just so much fun. I mean, just having a sound wave and then just dropping him and he's a plane, it's just so much fun. I literally sit here all day going, all day long. Just such a nice, clicky, crunchy sound. Here, I'm gonna do it in front of the microphone. Probably a little too loud. So, what's also fun is if you just place him down there. Sometimes if you hit him, he kind of launches forward a little bit. Yeah, these are fun. I see a lot of people saying that these are a waste of Hasbro's time. No, it's not. Come on. Just a fun little toy. Toys can be fun. Hasbro. Keep it up. Continue to do that, please. Okay. All right. I'm getting back on track now. Guys, the music volume good? I've just kind of got it in the background. I own that Soundwave one. They are really fun to fidget with. They are. I saw someone at MegaCon with a Starscream one. Where do you get that? Where do you get the one changers? I can never find them. I just found one. I found this guy at Walmart. He was on clearance. I also found a Skull Cruncher one that I gave to my niece. And so, just Walmart. I'm sure you can find them online too. I bet you Amazon has them. I had multiple Transformers figures, including the one-step changers the last night. Berserker. Did Berserker ever break? No, he didn't. One-step changers. Actual figure. Better than actual figures all day, every day. Yeah, they're fun. They're really fun. And again, for someone like my niece that I gave the Skull Cruncher one to, that's really what she needed. I had originally given her, it was like the Warrior class Earth Spark Elita, because she wanted a pink Transformer, and even I can't transform that thing for some reason. I can't figure it out. And so getting her this the one-step changer that I did was almost kind of a you know, a redemption moment for me. So she knows me as the Transformers uncle. So just yesterday I played through Fall Cybertron. I have to say I agree with your video on it. It's great. Wonderful. Yeah, I just got my recently got my PC up and running, and I have a little more work to do on getting War for Cybertron, Fall Cybertron running on that. That way we could we'll have to see if I'm gonna do streams of those games. I built my PC to be able to run games well. I didn't really put any money or build design into streaming off of that PC, and I'm pretty tech savvy. I know there's ways around it, but we'll just have to see how that works out. In the past, when I've streamed games, it's just been from my my PlayStation 5, and this right now is obviously we're just streaming on a Mac, so we'll see how things turn out. So I'm gonna swing over here. Fall Cybertron multiplayer streams? Yeah. And definitely what I would love to do is War for Cybertron campaign co-op, because that's what I really miss. Because I have really missed playing War for Cybertron. I have not played War for Cybertron since Fall of Cybertron came out. So, hey Warpath. Thank you. Thank you on the congrats. Me on my deathbed when Hasbro actually locks in and makes another Transformers game. Yeah, I think that's just the way it is. Unfortunately, it's not a very happy way to look at it, but I pretty much have just... I don't want to say I've given up hope, but I expect nothing now when it comes to Transformers games, sadly. Get on Garden Warfare. Garden Warfare is such a fun game. 1 and 2 are so much fun. I made a video on it on my gaming channel, if you know what that is. You hear they're increasing the price of figure increasing the price of figures. Yes, I did hear that. I've seen a lot of, hey, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. I know there's no official word yet, or at least I'm not aware of an official word. If the prices do go up, then I will most likely halt collecting. It's just expensive. It's an expensive hobby, and I understand why things are going up in price. I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I just say I understand. And yeah, that's definitely the way things are going, which is really tough because I just got the first 3 primes, and I am so excited to collect Bruticus, and now I feel like, well, maybe I'm not going to be collecting Bruticus. Which actually, let me bring him over here. This is always a little hard because this is a top-down camera, and so I have to lay them down rather than stand them up. But I was able to get the first 3 primes. I really do want to collect the 13. Of all the 13, Star Convoy just doesn't interest me. I'm not saying he's a bad figure. I just don't have a huge connection to him, and I would rather not specify that the 13th prime is Optimus. So what I'll probably do is, if I end up collecting all of the 12 of the 13, I'll probably display them all and then have Optimus in the middle or something like that. I don't know. I got my Ultra Magnus pre-order price locked in from Big Bad Toy Store. So did I, Slunk. I got him and Beachcomber. Their prices are locked in. I was going to cancel them, but I decided, nope, if the prices are going to stay the same, I'm going to go ahead and keep those pre-orders in. So... Bro, I'm waiting for a new Warpath to come out. Warpath, we just got a new Warpath from Kingdom. It wasn't that long ago. I think I saw Skywarp for like $39.99 Gamer Edition, although I don't know if that's a reasonable or not anymore. Yeah, Voyagers tend to range around that area in my local areas. I'll see them for like $32 to $38, so... Yeah. Super Gamer, how are you doing? I'm doing good. Still waiting on my Megatronus. He looks so cool, and I can't wait to get him. He is. He's a really fun. I need to remember here that everything's backwards from my view from camera. He's a really fun figure, the Lego Man. I do have his flames over there. I don't keep him on just because I know the rubbery parts can sometimes, I think, pull paint off. But he is a super fun figure. I had to tighten up some of his joints. Luckily, they're on screws back there, so... But yeah, again, always hard because I have to lay them down for the camera. But it's funny because I have these guys, and then I recently just grabbed this guy who, I wanted him because there's not many Sentinel Prime figures. Well, this is the only Sentinel Prime figure that's the IDW design, and I saw him at my local shop. He was like, I think $30. He was pretty cheap. No, he does come with his gum. And I thought, yeah, let me get him. This is definitely holding this Voyager versus a modern Voyager. There are people who say, well, hey, they're smaller sizes. You're right. But man, oh man, this is way better than this. Hey, Bob the Doctor 27 is here. Good friend of the channel. He's got, those clickety joints. He's the triple changer. But he sure is wobbly, and there's just a lot of joints missing. Nothing for his feet, his arms, his wrists. They're pretty simple. I can never decide if I like having these pylons up or down. If his head could actually move more, then it would help me. But I kind of keep him in the background. I have my 3 primes at the moment standing up front, and then him kind of scheming in the background. So... yeah, he's definitely a figure. Yeah, I am happy I have him, though. I am happy I have him. Megatronus looks like his IDW self. He very much is based off of that War Within design, so... I really enjoy these figures. I've heard a lot of people... I've seen from a lot of different reviews, like that toy guy, and I think even Dr. Lockdown talked about this, that the quality of their soulless figure is not good. That like her feet come off often and pieces fall off. I haven't had many issues with her, but then again, I normally have them displayed just kind of standing around, hanging out. Have you modded any of your figures? No, none of them actually. I don't really mod. I don't really even do third-party kits. Bob, I know you do. We talk about it often. But I just can't afford it. I can't afford buying third-party kits. Technically my Earthrise Optimus has some third-party pieces on it, but that's just the way he came when I bought him from eBay. So seeing a full collection of figures always makes my brain go crazy. Those three look great together. They do really look great together. Originally, some of my complaints were that they seemed a little dull on their colors, but I think all together they work really well. They kind of have this, maybe not dull, but more muted color palette that I think works once they're all together. Transforming Solos can get pretty difficult with her pieces coming off. Interesting. I never had any issue with her pieces coming off, but that's good to know. That is very good to know. I am looking forward. Let's see who's next. Onyx Prime is next, and so is Alchemist. So very excited for those to come out, to grab those. And I know it'll be done in 2 years because Mark was talking about how Age of the Primes is just a 2-year wave. So Solus's colors feel very reminiscent of Siege Shockwave. I actually have Siege Shockwave somewhere that I bet you I could pull out. So regular figures got too expensive for me. Now I'm resort to blockies. Yes, yeah. I was actually thinking about selling my blockies just because I haven't been keeping up with collecting them. And I thought, well, I have the mainline figures. I don't need so much on my shelf. But then with the mainline figure prices going up, I may switch over to just collecting blockies for the most part. But we'll see. We'll see. I am hoping that I can get more primes. We'll just have to see what happens with the prices and whatnot. So I do really like Solus though. I do wish his sword was maybe a little bit bigger, but that's okay. He is a really fun figure. Just a really great kind of knight. I think someone did make this was a more like medieval knight head third-party kit. I may consider that. So just because I love medieval knights. Give us a medieval knight transformer and make it a good figure, not like the last knight figures. Although that is why I'm kind of considering Age of Extinction Optimus Prime for my Optimus shelf, and because he's kind of knight inspired. I know there will be a Nemesis Prime that's probably closer in that knight aesthetic, but I don't really want to wait till the prices go up for him. But we'll see. We'll see. I was thinking about getting the comic Siege Shockwave because he's cheap and cool looking, but I have no room for him. He does look like a cool figure. He does. So we shall see what Studio Series 86 Shockwave will be like. I kind of hope he's a new mold. I would understand if he's not, because that's already a pretty good mold in my opinion. So Soundwave needs to be a new mold though. Please, please Hasbro. Please. Okay, let's get into some comics. I made a big comic order right before I went broke. And Jazzy B Productions, man, I remember when you had 90 subs. Thank you, I remember that too. I made a big order from InStockTrades.com. It's a great website to get comic books on the cheap. Half of my order came in. The other half, I think I ordered about 20 comics total. And half of my order, well, actually, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 here. So I probably actually ordered more like 15. A lot of the other items are out of stock. They got to get them in. And but they did send some of these early ones in, which I'm very thankful for. And it is kind of funny because they do all somewhat have a very similar theme to them. So obviously, first up is book 1 of Transformers. There's technically 3 different covers of this. There's another Optimus Prime cover, which is a very expensive exclusive. And then there's a purple book with Starscream on it. I just need one book. I just need one book. JS Productions, who's a channel member, great friend, she went ahead and bought both. Carl's Collection, also a huge friend of the channel from Teletran Tapes, he also bought both books. I don't need both books. I do not need both books. I'm noticing now also that that you guys are seeing this backwards. Let me see if I can mirror. Can I mirror this for you guys? There we go. Hopefully now you can see this correctly. Hopefully this actually reads Transformers now for you guys. I'm gonna let chat catch up real quick and make sure that this switches over. So on Free Comic Book Day, I was at the store only for Transformers stuff, as that's all I was really interested in. The guy running it said, "I'm forcing you to get a comic." Nonchalantly. This would make a lot more sense if I had captions, because all I see is table and hands. Okay, good. The camera is fixed. So basically, you got like peer pressured into getting 8 comics. That's good. That's good, silly. That's good. Yeah, unfortunately, hey, there's JS. Hey, JS, what's going on? It did hurt my wallet. Yes, you got both. Yeah, I was not able to go to my local comic store for Free Comic Book Day. That's because it's about an hour and 45 minutes away from where I live, and the line to get into the building started to form around 4 a.m. It was just too much for me. So I went a few days after, and they had a lot of leftovers, but they did not have the Energon Universe or Ballpoint comic leftover, which is fine. It's totally fine. I can buy them after the fact. And I don't really collect singles anyways, and so I'll probably just wait for the Ballpoint completed edition to come out, and then I will be collecting the other Energon Universe books as well to go along. I'm not collecting all the different colors. I really want to, but I don't need it. I don't. So I'm in the Walgreens parking lot doing some Mother's Day shopping. Yeah, hey guys, remember tomorrow's Mother's Day. So if you have a mother, then get her something nice. Make sure you spend some time with her. So I'm gonna take this book off screen here. That way I can carefully cut it. If I do it in front of camera, I'm gonna mess it up. All right, that should be good. Let's see here. It's hard to do it. It's hard to understand what I'm doing when there's a microphone in front of my face, a camera up here, and all these wires. Streaming is hard. I'm glad I don't do it for a living. Let's put that aside. So yeah, this is super nice. Oh man, this is wonderful. 1 through 12. I have seen some videos already kind of previewing this, but I'm super excited. I do have Volume 1 and 2. I decided not to buy Volume 3 and to just wait for Book 2 to come out. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing with my volumes now that I have the books. But the books are going to be the ones that I primarily collect through. I was about to complain that we're not using the full width of the page, but we are here. I didn't realize. So now I don't know which one to open, Starscream or Optimus. That's going to be interesting. Open them both, JS. Open them both and put them on there. I will say I'm not collecting all of the different colors, and I'm actually going to swap here to the back. However, when it comes to G.I. Joe, Book 2, I'm probably going to get the Destro one. I just like the color a little bit better than what's her name? Scarlet? Is that her name? I'm still really weirded out that Void Rivals Book 1, the 2 options are Derek and Salila. I really thought Salila would be for Book 2, but if Book 2 has a Skuxoid cover, I will be getting the Skuxoid cover. There is no question. There is no question about that. So I understand. So that's really hard. For Void Rivals, I want both, so I can have Derek and Salila, but I don't need it. I don't need it. But man, it is. I have not. I'm moving my microphone here real quick. I have not looked at my volumes in a little while, and so being able to see this This artwork is very nice. Wonderful. Ah, greatest panel. Bumblebee's face getting blown off. That's Swizz Prime's favorite panel. Rip Skuxoid. Nah, Skuxoid's coming back. Skuxoid's coming back for sure. Being able to lay this a little more flat than the volumes too is really nice. Oh, yeah, that's right. That was the side. Trying to make sure I'm going through every page here. Am I gonna get in trouble for this? Showing off the entire comic. There it is. There's that wonderful. This is actually funny. That both. Well, I mean, technically not, because this is the gap between two issues. Which originally I didn't like that the volumes did this. That the volume didn't have a gap page saying like part 2 or issue number 2. However, again, and I will always say this, Daniel Warren Johnson's stories really do read best as one continual story. That being said, his other books, which I'm looking at on my shelf now, like Extremity or Do a Power Bomb or Murder Falcon, they do have those gap pages to say that it's the start of a new issue. That way you know. So it is interesting that they didn't do it here. Obviously, that must be an Energon Universe kind of decision, I guess. But yes, yeah. My first ever video used this as its thumbnail, and then my second ever video used this as the thumbnail. Oh, wait, no. My second ever video was Bumblebee's death. It was the Death Has a Purpose. So that. So it went this, that, and then I'm pretty sure Starscream was third. So see you, Warpath. Have a fun time. Yeah, this was the panel that made me make that first video. I've said this before. I've had not Transformers YouTube channels before. I've made content before, and I really love this series. I was just reading it digitally at the time, and I thought, why don't I just make a video just really on this panel? It's because I made that thumbnail, and well, it just turned into more. So. But yeah, seeing this again, Skybound actually, the Skybound Instagram account actually released a full version of this photo without text bubbles on their stories as a phone wallpaper, and it's really nice. It's a really nice way to get that. Oh yeah, spoilers for issues 1 through 12, I guess. I think we're well enough removed from. From all of that we don't need to be too worried about that. But if you have not read through issues 1 through 12, and I'm gonna start skipping here. What I really want to see here is these double spread pages, which this is really nice, because on the volumes with trade paperbacks, it's harder to get as flat of a lay as possible. And this isn't a perfect flat lay, but it's way better than a volume, which is really going to be almost more kind of like this, So I'm gonna skip forward a little bit here. There is a gap actually. Chapter 1 ends. So there is a gap between the first 6 issues. So that makes sense. And then chapter 2 begin. Okay, that makes sense, because there is kind of a gap there. Why isn't she smiling? Come on, guys. Alita just needs to learn how to smile. Then everyone on the internet will like her. Been here since day 1, man. It's been wonderful. Thanks, Pumpkin. See you later, man. See you guys, everybody who's hopping off. Currently waiting for Volume 3 to release in my comic book shop alongside with issue 20. Uh-oh. There's an ad playing.
Everything would suddenly stop.
Hold on, guys. I gotta mute the ad. I gotta get this music back on. 1 second, guys. There's an ad playing on my music that I know I'm gonna get. The stream is gonna get copyright striked for playing this music. If you're wondering what the music is, I don't know if you can hear it. It is the Arc Raiders soundtrack. Arc Raiders was a game that there was a tech test for recently. Really fun. Okay, back to this. Some really good stuff here. Wonderful. This was the thumbnail that probably took me the longest amount of time for Soundwave's video, and that was just cutting out the text and everything around it. So kind of jump around here a little bit. I don't want this to just be me. You know, rifling through every single page. Ah, there's that heartbreaking panel. I didn't realize Transformers was still making peak comics. If only they had the backing of movie studios for a more grounded take. It is absolutely peak, this comic series. This is what I want. This is what I wanted to see, was the additional stuff. So I'm actually going to read this right here from Daniel Warren Johnson. Hello, friends. What you are seeing here is one of my many forays into figuring out how to approach the G1 style designs that we all know and love. The Transformers characters, especially in the G1 style, can be very blocky, oftentimes in a way I found restrictive. The challenge was to make them look like living, breathing robots while staying true to the toon look that is my personal favorite. After tons of sketching and experimentation, I found the looser. Guys, I can't read. I found the looser I drew the characters, the better they would look. Sometimes I get a little too precious with my lines, especially with established characters, and this was definitely happened when first trying to draw Optimus and the gang. I personally think that readers can tell when the artist isn't enjoying the process of creating a comic book pages. This ultimately should be a fun process. That meant putting my ruler away, pulling out my very slobby brush, and just going for it. I haven't looked back ever since. And then he actually has a photo down here and is talking about the materials he used. Let me catch up on chat here. See if you can block the copyright strike with a shield. You should do one of those top 10 lists reviewing the best comic sound effects that have appeared in Skybound. That's actually a good idea, Bob. Yeah. Yes, this is one of the main reasons why I want to get this book, was because of the artwork. He did this for Extremity and Murder Falcon. So some really fantastic art pieces here. Wonderful. The conceptual process for the human characters was actually way more daunting than sketching out the already designed and beloved Autobots and Decepticons. Let me pull this up actually a little bit. I wanted to have humans that felt memorable and relatable in the same way that the Cybertronians already were. And that's why I kept things fairly simple across the board, especially with Spike. I really love how large his ears are. I guess I never noticed that he has large ears. And his eyebrows got thicker the further into the series we went. Right? I never noticed that. I might have to make a video on the back of this. Would you guys want to dedicate a video on kind of these back pages of the book? I don't really want to say it's a review of the book, but just kind of a secrets to book one. Let me know if you guys want a standalone video for that on the channel. I think that would be fun. I knew I wanted a spunky, lively vibe to Carly, and I wanted her to look different than any previous iterations of her, and I decided to make her an artist, too. And it was a small but important part of issue number 2 that we see her painting Optimus Prime on the side of her van. I do remember that. I wanted Sparky to look as rough and ragged on the outside as he felt on the inside. I did my best to try and weigh down his entire face with more lines than necessary. He's a heavy character. Sorry guys, I have too many things in my face. He's a heavy character in tone and physicality, and he takes up space in Spike's life and in Optimus's as well, and I wanted to visualize that as much as possible. See, here's the thing. Those are not things that I immediately noticed within this comic, but the fact that he's telling us this makes sense to me. And I'm sure if I go back, I'd be able to see that. Spike's big ears, and then Sparky having heavier lines drawn to him. So, Space is here. Space Pizza's here. What's going on, Spacey? So glad to see you here. Art video. Okay. All right. We'll probably be doing that. Now this is beautiful because this is just. Here we have the first 3 attempts at the issue number 1 cover. First issue covers for me are very stressful. I often find myself overthinking the composition and the concept, and it becomes a bit of a chore to execute all the ideas into the sketch. When I came up with the top right idea, this guy up here, it felt pure, simple, and bold in the best way. I honestly feel lucky that I came up with this one, as I'm not always the best at this. This concept and final execution feels like a gift from somewhere else, and it's a perfect cover, and I don't often deliver perfect covers. I would disagree, but that's just amazing. Wow. Oh man, even more. This is the cover that I truly want. This cover right here is, I believe, was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive cover, and I so desperately want it. But it's very expensive. Far too expensive for me to spend money on. So, man. This is a wraparound cover used for an exclusive for my art rep, Felix Comic Art. I knew there would be a lot of #1 exclusive covers featuring Optimus Prime standing tall, gun in hand, looking awesome, and I really wanted to do something different and unexpected for my own exclusive. And what's more exclusive than Prime dunking on some Decepticon fools? I also love that I was able to introduce a bit of narrative on the back cover so that at first glance the front cover looks like a sweet dunk, but having it broken down as a whole, it feels like an added bonus. This remains one of my absolute favorite Transformers things I've drawn to date. This is a wonderful. Have him rolling up, transforming, jumping over these Decepticons, and just, dunking on them. That's also a wonderful, wonderful cover. Let me catch up with chat here real quick. Single-handedly making me feel like drawing and breaking my art block. You should do it. You should do it. Dude, he should make those unused covers into real ones. These are all real ones. If you're... Oh, you mean like these. These... I got you. These are real covers. This is the one I really want. Seeing all that concept art is so satisfying. I love looking at this sort of stuff. This was the 4th cover that I'd drawn for Skybound, and it was for the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Ash Can of Transformers #1. This was the evolution of the sketch from a few pages back with Optimus Prime in the woods looking at Spike over the trees. Notice the blue tape next to Spike's head. When I started the piece, I'd not yet nailed down his final design. Gotcha. By the time I finished the cover, Spike's final design had been approved, and instead of whiting out the original face, which I like to do so much, I decided to draw a new face on another piece of paper and taped it over the top of the original. That's actually really funny that he did that. Notice the paper beneath the cover. That's the page where Starscream is splattering the human. See right there. Very cool. Splattering the human in midair, and I love the contrast of these two major pieces together. Lastly, I'm just now noticing that the Optimus Prime's right window pane is smaller than the left. Whoops. Ultimately, this is another of my favorite Transformers drawings I've made for Skybound. It feels like a very natural and clear image that sets the tone for the entire first arc. The reason I also love this is because it matches up to the Void Rivals one where Jetfire's standing and in his hand is Derek and Salila. I would love to have this and that one right next to each other, especially in black and white. But again, they're super expensive. Getting this cover in like a graded case is, man, I don't even know. It's like $300 or something. Way too much money to spend. I don't have that money, so. Oh man, this is amazing. Just all these different. There's so much, guys. I may have to. I think I will actually make this into a full video reading because there's a lot of text here. Interesting seeing him with the original toy. Wow. Oh, and then look at this. They actually giving us the original. Covers in the back here, which is also nice. I love it when these hardcover books allow you to have these covers back here. just to see them in full color. Such a fantastic cover. Classic one. This one's also amazing. This just makes me even more excited for book 2. And then you have the Energon Universe has arrived. Does it have dates on here? Available now. Book 1 is already available? I didn't know that. June and then September. Well, looks like I'm going to have to go out and buy that. I don't know if I'm going to get the Derek or Solila one. I just haven't decided yet. You guys help me decide. Should I get the Void Rivals Derek cover or Solila cover? Help me decide, guys. Do you know about the fan servers for Transformers Fall, Cybertron, and War for Cybertron online, PS3, and PC? I do. I do Super Gamer. Brush Rangers help me get connected with those. I just haven't had the time to play the games, but I am aware of it. Thank you for letting me know. I actually have that one with Optimus holding the planet over his shoulders as my phone wallpaper. It's beautiful. It is actually one of the only single issues that I own a copy of. So this was not the only book that I got. This is where nothing else is Transformers related. So my guess is some people will be we'll move faster through these next ones because some people will maybe be a little bored by non-Transformers comics. But we will kind of keep on topic. I'm cutting the plastic off one of them here. That way I can just bring it on camera. But again, this was about... Whoops, hit my microphone. This was about half my order. How much does it cost? So I'm going to tell you guys a little secret here. If you buy this book from Amazon, firstly, please don't. Try and buy from a local store if you can. This book retails for, what is it, $50? Yeah, about $50. Now, hold on a second. I know $50 is a lot of money. I get it. I bought this for about $28 to $30 on instocktrades.com. Instock, INSTOCKTRADES.com. Instocktrades.com. There's other websites like InStock that you can buy from that you're buying at a good price. This for $28 is an absolute must. So you can buy from Amazon. I buy things from Amazon all the time. Practically everything here on my desk is from Amazon, but I try my hardest not to buy comic books from Amazon. They ship them in the worst type of packaging. InStock Trades ships these extremely well, padded out. And I just try and keep my money when it comes to comic books within the comic book industry. And I think that InStock Trades is a really great place to do it. So absolutely. So $50 retail if you're buying it, in person or from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, things like that. But instocktrades.com, about $28 to $30. So, and they do have the variation covers. They might be sold out right now. I don't know. When I went to my local comic book shop just to see if they had this, they were sold out. They said they had about 20 copies, 20 copies of each variation, completely sold out. So these books are selling, which is great to know. Yeah, InStock. You know what? Let me grab InStock Trades right now and just put it in chat for you guys. It is what I use. Let me just put this in chat. I remember when I bought the last copy and saw Delta crying, so I gave him mine. That's right. Swizz Prime did betray me and steal from me. So I'm going to actually even just look up Transformers here on InStock Trades. Yeah, $28.99 for that hardcover. And then as well for the Starscream variation. And then actually, let me look up and see if they have the Void Rivals hardcover. I know you guys can just see this, so. Okay, coming soon. 5/21 is when the hardcover books release on InStock Trade. Sometimes they show up a little bit earlier, but it seems to be at the end of the month. So, but yes, InStock Trades. Okay, there are more comics, but they're still from Daniel Warren Johnson. This wraps up the completion of my. Actually, not the full completion of my Daniel Warren Johnson collection, But I'm not a DC guy. I'm not a Marvel guy. I don't dislike DC or Marvel. I'm just not as invested in them. No reason. I'm not saying they're bad or anything like that. I just was never super invested in them. But if Daniel Warren Johnson made it, I want to own it. So this is definitely was a must. So I have not read through this yet. This iteration of Wonder Woman, but this is written and drawn by Daniel Warren Johnson, and I can already see that it is. It reminds me a lot of Extremity here, so this is very exciting for me. I'm very much looking forward to. He loves drawing these winding staircases. So, okay, sorry guys, spoilers for this comic if you haven't read it. I guess there's Batman. I guess he's dead. Wow. Okay. So yeah, I know vaguely that this story is about Wonder Woman. I think there's been like an apocalypse or something, and a bunch of the main characters are dead, and she just has to kind of survive on her own. But this is a really nice hardcover. It's pretty thin. It's a different size than, actually wait, no, it's the same height as these books. It's just a little bit longer. So this is almost kind of a nice large format. Wonder Woman's mission was to save man's world. From itself, she failed. When Diana wakes up from centuries-long sleep, she discovers Earth has been reduced to a nuclear wasteland. Now she's marooned in a dark and dangerous future, protecting the last human city from a titanic monster and struggling to uncover the secrets of this dead Earth and how she may be responsible for it. That's cool. Black Label line. Daniel Warren Johnson, the celebrated creator of Murder Falcon and Extremity, mixes sci-fi and fantasy in a harrowing post-apocalyptic vision of Wonder Woman unlike anything we've ever seen. Collects the full 4-issue miniseries along with behind-the-scenes artwork. Oh. Hey, Effective is here. Behind-the-scenes artwork. See, once again, love to get these. Love to get these. Thank you, Delta. Another website for my friends to yell at me to get off of. No worries. No worries at all. I love that book. Had no idea that Daniel Warren Johnson did it at the time, but that makes sense. Yeah. So much fun. Very excited to read through this one. Again, not super invested in DC or Marvel, but Daniel Warren Johnson did it. So there's some. I've got some Daredevil comics and some Moon Knight. And I probably have some more DC. Speaking of not being super interested in Marvel or DC, another Daniel Warren Johnson story was his Beta Ray Bill Argent Star. This does not, I don't think this has a hardcover. I think it's just paperback. But I am excited to get into this one as well. This one looks like it's a little more easier read. How many issues? Beta Ray Bill 1 through 5. Okay, yeah. So it does look like there's also a little bit in the back, some letter sections. Yeah, where he's talking, an interview with someone. This was out of print for a while. I think it recently came back. So this is just being added to my Daniel Warren Johnson stash, which I don't have it. It's on back order. But Volume 1 of The Moon is Following Us is supposed to be arriving. That was a part of this order that just wasn't able to show up on time. Let's see here. Beta Ray Bill is tired of life in Thor's shadow, and with Bill's own mighty hammer, Stormbreaker, recently destroyed at the Thunder God's hands, Bill finds himself at a crossroads. The Corbinite must strike out in search of his destiny, assuming he can defeat his nullified Fin Fang Foom. Okay, see, again, I know nothing about the character, but Daniel Warren Johnson wrote it, so. Super Gamer, I'm seeing your chat messages that War for Cybertron Escalation is so fun with Jazz, Dead End, and Zeta Prime. And then these last two comics, again, this is just part of my order. I'm excited to get into these. These are not Daniel Warren Johnson, but this first one is Falling in Love on the Path to Hell, Volume 1. This just looked like such an interesting series. I know next to nothing about it, but it looks to be about a cowboy and I'm not sure if it's a samurai, something like that. But this looks like a really fun series. Really excited to start this. Interestingly, Volume 1 is issues 1 through 4, and I believe Volume 2 is going to be issues 5 through 12 or something. I think volume 2 is going to be a little bit bigger because they work in story arcs. So really excited to see what that's about. It would be cool if you had a helmet that matches your profile picture. Pumpkin, if you want to make it for me, I'll take it. I have thought about, I don't know anything about 3D printing or 3D designing, but Student Scissors, I was chatting with him recently. If you don't know him here on YouTube, he does a lot of Lego Transformers builds and 3D modeling. I was thinking about commissioning a 3D Delta Trion like head that I could, you know, pop onto different figures and whatnot, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't have a 3D printer. I'd have to buy it online somewhere. So could you show us your TF collection? That's going to come soon. Don't worry. I love that the moon looks like a face on that. Oh, you're right. It does look like a face on Falling in Love on the Path to Hell. How are we going to Philotpa. You're right. It does look. He's got the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. Yeah. And again, I've got The Moon is Following Us Coming. So 2 Moon comics. And I have a Moon Knight comic. So thank you, Nicholas. Happy 20K. This is the last one that came in on this order so far. Ain't No Grave. The reason I got this was Jorge Corona, who's done a wonderful job with Transformers. Carl's collection and Moonbase 3. Basically, when I go to my local comic book shop, I take pictures of anything that catches my eye, and I send them to Moonbase and Carl and ask them, should I get this? Is this worth it? So, yeah, this looks really wonderful. Again, I don't know much about this, but they told me that it was an excellent read. So, Jorge Corona, a wonderful work that he does. So, super excited to see. Is there any extra stuff here in the back? Lots of advertisements. Yeah, it looks like there's some behind the scenes stuff, which I always love seeing. Very cool. So this is what I was talking about earlier when you have a trade paperback volume, is that you can't really take advantage of the lay flat. So obviously this says here lies and then a character's name, and you really can't see it because it's just stuck in the gap. It's not the end of the world, you know, it's okay. But when you have these double page spreads with something dead center in the middle, I'm trying to see if there's one here near the beginning. It often does get lost. So, but that's okay. Not that big of a deal. So, Ain't No Grave follows the journey of Ryder, an outlaw who tries to put her violent past behind her when she falls in love, gets married, and becomes a mother. When she learns that an illness threatens to take all that away, Ryder chooses to once again pick up her guns and fight. In an effort to have more time in the world, she sets out across the land to a place beyond the living, looking to kill the one that holds her life in her hands, Death himself. All right. I am all for it. So a great haul. Man, I keep hitting my microphone, guys. A great haul. Let me see here. What else is coming in my next shipment? My next shipment, and I'm not showing this on camera because it's got my street address on it, is A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, the deluxe hardcover. I'm very excited for that. The Moon is Following Us, Volume 1, and then Holy Roller, another comic book that I know very little about, but seems very exciting. Let me catch up with chat here. Is it a Western comic? It does seem to be a Western comic. Would be cool to have a custom TF figure of your own character. Yeah, that would be cool. I wouldn't want to have to make a whole figure, maybe just a head piece that I could add on to a character that already exists. So all this from In Stock Trades. I'm definitely going to check them out. Yes, so this book, all of these here, and then 3 more that are coming. 2 more paperbacks, as well as another hardcover deluxe edition. Those comics and all of these all totaled to, let me look at my sheet over here, all totaled about like $110. So $110 for all this and 3 comics that have not arrived yet is such a great deal, because this book alone at retail is $50. So instocktrades.com, I keep saying it. I'm not sponsored by them. I would love to be sponsored by them, but I absolutely love them. Their shipping can be slow, but then again, everything is slow compared to Amazon's quick movement. But they package everything wonderfully. They really care about the comics. There's very little waviness here in the comics, especially on the hardcovers. So they absolutely keep their comic books in a weather sealed area where things aren't going to be damaged. So heard great things about the Absolute DC line. Yes, I read the first couple of issues, Nicholas, of Absolute Batman. I stopped because I was going to collect all of them, and I almost bought Absolute Martian Manhunter. I don't know anything about Martian Manhunter at all, but the comics just looked so fantastic. But Carl from Carl's Collection said, hey, maybe wait till like the first volume comes out, and then I think it'll be a better product overall. So definitely going to wait for that, but it does look really good. JS says, I even got issue 1 first print on the way for Transformers. Very excited about that. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah. Super Gamer, you're asking what's the best way to get a lot of subs. Just make the content that you want to make. That's the golden rule. Don't worry about subs. We're here celebrating 20k subs, and that's definitely a very great achievement, and I thank you all for getting me there. But it's got to be about the content, you know? It's got to be about enjoying the content that you make. Let me put this over here. Don't want to accidentally dox myself. Let me look real quick. Great job with the Transformers audiobook. Thank you, Nicholas. If you're talking about the original story that we posted, I really enjoyed doing it. I already have another one on the way, and then I am still working on the audiobook for Transformers Exodus. That will probably not be out till even next year, but I am excited for my work on that one. It's very long, dedicated kind of process. So those comics, recent, the 13 Primes were kind of the recent Transformers figures that I've gotten. Probably going to slow down on buying figures just because of the cost of them. We all know it's been going up, so. The original story with Optimus, yes, thank you. Atonement. It was a long process to get that made, but the next one is coming along very quickly, so I'm very excited. Hey, my dog's up here. Come here, dog. Come here. What's wrong? Come here, doggy. What's wrong? My dog's upset. My dog's upset, guys. Mrs. Tryon is out of town, so the dogs are just stuck with me. You want to be on camera? You want me to put you on the table? Hold on, you got something stuck in your ear, buddy boy. Let me put you on the table. That way they can see you. Alright, doggy. What are you doing up there? What are you doing up there? You need a scratch? You need a haircut, buddy. You're so long. You need a haircut. Look up here. Look up to the camera. He says, I don't want to look. What are you doing? You want to get down? All right. He looks a little nervous. That was Otto, our dachshund. I know. What's happening live on chat is different. I just saw what it looked like when I pointed his head to the camera. That looked horrible. Oh man. Okay, so can I hold on real quick? Let me see. I can do polls. I always forget if I can do polls on here or not. One extras. Okay, we're gonna do a poll right here for a dedicated video to book 1 extras, just so we're all on the same page. I'm talking about the back half of this book and all the Daniel Warren Johnson stuff in the back. That's what this poll is for. So I'm guessing it's going to be a bunch of yeses, but that's what this is for. Otto or Otto? Transformers or Spidey? Otto, the second. Not. I guess there's a character in Spider-Man called Otto. Oh, Dr. Octopus, yeah. Not the reason why we called him that. But yes. What a good dog. Wow, everybody's voting yes. How could I have guessed that? So here's the thing. I would love to make a video on the back half, but what I worry about is that I'm encouraging people not to buy the book. I'm encouraging people not to purchase the book because I'm just going to tell them all what's in back here. Do you guys think I'm right about that, or do you think I'm fine in that area? I don't want it to seem like I'm taking content that really is special for a product and then just giving it to people online for free. I don't want it to come across in the wrong way. Do you guys see it that way, or am I just wrong? Animator X, you're perfectly fine. No need to apologize. I had forgotten that there was a character named Otto in Spider-Man. Feel like you're right about that, although I feel myself will get to see it myself anyways. Actually, I wasn't going to buy it, and now I will because of the good price and BTS stuff. If anything, that sort of thing encourages me to buy it because it makes me want to own it myself. Yeah. It's more letting people know who wouldn't buy it see it. I can't buy it because it's over $100 where I live, but I want to see the extras. Okay. I get what you mean, but I feel like it's more of a, hey, I want this in person. Yeah. Okay. You should pick out some of the interesting trivia points that stand out to you, but not all of the trivia, to leave some to surprise for. That's a great idea, Bob. That is a great idea, Bob. Bob out here, extremely close friend, Bob the Doctor, channel member. Wonderful guy. Wonderful human being. I'm going to end the poll. It seems like most everybody is voting yes. Okay, well, that's all the comics I have. I think what we can do now, let me go over to OBS, is do a little sneak preview for a video that's coming up. I'm actually just going to open up my editor and pull up this piece. Normally I have a section of a video. Oh, but I don't have my drive plugged in. Hold on a second. I guess I'm going into YouTube. I'm just going to go into YouTube and let you guys see my YouTube back end. I wanted to give a sneak preview for an upcoming video. So I apologize. I know you're just looking at my hand clicking things. Here, we'll put Solus Prime in here for you guys to look at while I get this set up. I apologize. Trying to find a good section to give a preview off of. Here, let me. You know what? We'll actually just do this whole chunk. We'll do these two characters. We'll just do these two characters. All right, I'm going to pause the music here. I'm going to show us the back end of your YouTube. Yeah, you want that, don't you? You would want that, wouldn't you? All right, here we go. I'll still get the book and want you also to cover it. Okay. Okay, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna mute my microphone, and then we're gonna just literally watch this section of a new video that's currently scheduled out. Let me make sure that you're not going to see anything. Yeah, there shouldn't be anything. But so I'm going to mute my microphone here, and I'm going to crank up the volume on this video. That way everybody can hear just this little section. So let me test this here real quick. Okay, all right. We'll move on. This one should be easy for you because it follows the general naming convention you use for everybody on this show.
Okay, so something Tron.
Yeah, it's literally the general naming convention.
Tigatron?
Yes, literally.
Yeah.
And what's even better is
I am doing way better than the first gen. I just like to point that out.
what's even better is that his name is not Tigertron. It's Tygatron, and you somehow got that right.
Is that a Black Widow?
Yes.
Hourglass marking on the back.
So
Fun fact, we have those out where we live.
we do. We also have tarantulas.
We have tarantulas and we have Black Widows.
I cannot think of a possible way that you could get this one because it's just a made up.
So it has nothing to do with
I will say,
the...
you said she was a Black Widow.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you this because this one's going to be super hard. Her name is one word and it starts with black.
Blackatronus.
Well, it's Black Arachnia.
Okay, like arachnophobia.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Fun fact, Black Widows, the females, kill the males.
Anyways.
A falcon.
All right. Hopefully you guys heard that. Were you guys able to hear that? Okay, good. I was worried that you guys weren't gonna be able to hear that. Okay, good. Let's get this music playing back in the background. Hopefully it's not too loud. Okay. Blackatronas. Yeah, you know, Mrs. Tryon just loves the naming conventions. So, okay, good. You guys could all hear that. What I also want to do here is show off some of the artwork that we got done for this newest issue. If I can find the zip files here. Yeah. Reggie, Centipede.gov, is a fantastic artist that did the artwork for the first video, did a lot of new artwork, and it was just amazing. They we commissioned them to do 4 new poses for Delta Tryon. I'm Delta Tryon, for Mrs. Tryon and myself. So, hey, Delta, just want to say I love the videos. Congrats on the 20K. Thank you, Rest. Yeah, it's been a crazy journey. I wanted to talk about that real quick, and I'll bring in some toys here so you don't just have to look at my hands as you tend to have to do on these streams. I was kind of looking back at some of the more recent content, and it's very easy on YouTube to get discouraged when, you know, oh, this video didn't do as well as that one or that one. And it's also very easy to say, hey, all that matters is that you enjoy the process. And I do enjoy the process. But of course, I guarantee you every single content creator struggles with, man, this video didn't do as well as I was hoping. This one, you know, didn't get as much traction. And that's fine. That's absolutely human. And so I was feeling down a little bit lately just because I felt like, man, I think maybe I've strayed too far away from the content that I should be making, Skybound content. And that's because my Fall of Cybertron video did not blow up as much as I thought it would. But I was then looking at my subscriber total, and I thought, man, in less than a year, we've made it to 20,000 subscribers, which has just been such a treat. And again, subscribers aren't everything. You know, you have people who've got hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and the content they make is this is really hard to get out, and the content they make is not great, or they just don't want to make content. So, but it still is nice. The number going up is always nice. Did I just scratch the paint off that? Probably. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's been here since the beginning. We're definitely going to celebrate everything that we've done once we get to the 1-year anniversary. So I haven't strayed, bro. This is what I live for. Well, I do want to get kind of back to the roots of Bob Doctor got a bounce. Hope the rest of the stream goes well. Congratulations once again on hitting an incredible milestone. Thank you, Bob. I forgot what I was going to say, but yeah, we'll have a bigger celebration when we get to that 1-year anniversary. There was a video that I was working on originally, which is kind of my origins, how I got interested in Transformers and my life growing up with Transformers. It was very personal. I may still make that video. Again, I'm trying recently to simplify and consolidate my channel back to Skybound. I just feel like that's kind of the best place for me to continue the growth. So I actually just had an idea. This guy's head is really hard to pop off. There we go. What if he's back here like this? And again, this is hard because everybody's got to lay down. But can this shoulder play? There we go. And then he's got his sword like this. And then bam. He just ripped his head off, guys. As he should have. Again, this is not working because he has to lay down, but anyways. Another big video project that I was working on was kind of that recap of book 1 of... Okay, obviously I had to put his head back on. Off camera. Was a book 1 recap for Transformers Skybound. That might end up becoming a recap for all of Daniel Warren Johnson's story. I don't know yet. I have not decided yet what that video will become. So, Animator X also nice. Sentinel Prime figure. Yeah, he's definitely a figure. He's got some issues, but I'm happy I have him though. Revenge for TF1. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, I feel like that's really kind of all I have. We've talked about some new comics that I was able to buy. Again, this was just supposed to be kind of a chill, relaxed stream. We showed off some of these toys. You guys got the preview of that next video. That video comes out not next week, but the week after. I believe that's May 20th, maybe somewhere around there. I always like to keep the week of a new issue clear, just in case I feel like I need to make a video. I mentioned this, the next big video that should be coming, the next big essay, is the Thundercracker video. And here's the thing. Every time I start to write a Thundercracker video, I wait to see if the next issue is going to have more Thundercracker. And it's almost come to the point where I feel like I have to wait till issue 24 for the Thundercracker essay, because I feel like no matter what I do, we're so close to the end that any video I make will be immediately outdated. Obviously, there's videos that are outdated, like my Starscream one. Well, I wouldn't say it's outdated, but it doesn't cover issue 13, which is fine. I have a newer video on Starscream like that. But I don't want to make a Thundercracker video this month, and then next month something happened with Thundercracker near the end of the series, well, near the end of Daniel Warren Johnson's run, and then, immediately have to do another Thundercracker video. So I'm kind of torn whether I should just wait till issue 24 comes out. The problem with that is when issue 24 comes out, I will, of course, be making a video on my thoughts on the finale of Daniel Warren Johnson's story. And that would probably get in the way of the Thundercracker story. So I'm hoping something really big happens with Thundercracker before 24. That way I can make a video on him. I just don't know. It's just such a hard decision to do. Cheetah says, congrats again. On 20K Delta, I have to go now as I'm working on some stuff, Transformers game, TV movie I'm making. Hope you all have a good night. See you, Cheetah. What's your personal favorite Transformer? Depth Charge. Of course, Depth Charge. I even have a video on it. He's my favorite of all time. So that's why the Thundercracker video has never appeared. I've written it. I've written major sections of it. But I just... every time I think about doing it, I'm like, man, what if I just waited? What if I just waited for something else? My music's not working, guys. There's the music. So that's the reason why the Thundercracker video has not appeared yet. I just can't decide on if I should wait or not. And I don't cover comics as they come out. People like Swizz Prime and Moonbase 3 do that amazingly. I don't feel the need to do that because they cover that kind of area of content so well. And so I only feel the need to make a video on a character when something major has happened. So like with Ultra Magnus, I did write a video about Ultra Magnus, but then, spoiler alert, he got kidnapped by G.I. Joe. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to wait on my Ultra Magnus video because I want to see what happens with the G.I. Joe plotline. And so his character had to wait. And then there's other people who will ask me questions like, hey, will you make a video on Jetfire? I have made a video on Jetfire. There's nothing really else I can talk about Jetfire because he hasn't been brought back to be used. I did do a video slightly on Jazz for the Energon Universe special, but that was really more talking about the people who are complaining about Daniel Warren Johnson writing the series because they think Daniel Warren Johnson is a fake Transformers fan, which is just insane to me. Obviously, they're not reading the comic books very closely, so. But I do know, to optimize, I could optimize the channel by doing monthly coverages. But again, Swizz Prime, Mr. Skybound himself does that so well. I really feel like there's no need for me to do that. And then Moonbase 3 also does it. They both do it way better than I could. So, see ya, Effective. Thanks for stopping by. Put this gun back on. Flame who? Flame War. Yeah. People upset at Daniel Warren Johnson for not knowing a IDW character. Or not knowing Arachnid. Whatever. We know that Skybound is peak. We know that it's fantastic. I mean, look at this. How is this not peak? This is amazing. Amazing. Anyways. So yeah, that's why there haven't been many Skybound videos, because I haven't felt like there's been enough to talk about. We talked about Megatron in that most recent video about his background. I'm going to turn down the music just a little bit here. We talked about Megatron from his issue 19. Perhaps in issue 20, there will be something big enough for me to talk about. There hasn't been a video on Astro Train. He's a character I could cover, but I feel like we're missing a huge portion of his story for me to make a video on. Well, maybe not missing. He's obviously not a main character. And so the story that we have of him might be all that we ever get. And so, a Astro Train centered video on my channel would be like 2 minutes. I don't know. Anyways. Rise and Shine says, seriously? Skybound is peak. Anyway, only continuity I love more than IDW1. Yeah. I mean, and again, to each their own. People can enjoy Skybound. People cannot for whatever reasons. Just the reasons that were kept being brought up that Daniel Warren Johnson should not be writing the series really frustrated me, because I felt that they were silly reasons. That he drew Optimus Prime with 2 arms. He doesn't know the continuity, or he doesn't know who Flame War is. Come on. Ridiculous. Stupid. So. Depth Charge is getting a new figure soon. A new figure from Hasbro, or are you talking about the Transart figure? I saw the Transart figure. I want to pre-order it, but he's been on pre-order for like 3 years. So. Hey, look who's in the chat. Wingania. Hey, what's up, man? Great to see you. Aside from Optimus and Megatron, who would you say are the best Transformers? Who are the best characters in IDW Transformers? That's a really hard one. It's been a while since I've read through IDW, and there's just so many characters. So my answer will be Hoist, because I love Hoist. So Hoist is always my answer. Which don't I have? I do have a Hoist figure. He's just packed away right now. I'm trying to see if I have anything else up on the shelf that I got recently. Legacy Animated Motor Master is up there on the shelf. I got him recently for like $10, which is a great steal. But I don't see anything else really that's new on my shelf. I think I've talked about everything else. Oh, well, let me grab this one actually real quick. Stuff's falling over. I got this guy a little while ago. I got him. I probably already talked about him. Technically, the newest figure other than these guys was Sentinel Prime, but I did also get the Hound remold of Orion Pax. So he's been added to my Optimus shelf. Get these things off here, and I really like him. I no longer have my Siege Hound. I did like the mold. I think it's fun, but I do think it just works really well for this kind of cop Orion. Let me get his feet situated. So this might be the Orion that I place with my primes. We'll see. I was gonna take my Earthrise, or no, not my Earthrise, my Siege Optimus, and put him kind of in the middle of those primes. But we'll see. I have to figure out how I'm going to redo my office with all these figures and comics. I have a lot more comics now that I have to somehow figure out. How are you feeling about the aerial bots and the Constructicons? Either you have them or not. I was not going to collect the aerial bots, and then I started seeing reviews, and I was like, these actually look really fun. I'm going to get the aerial bots. Then I saw that prices are probably going up, and Voyagers are going to be more expensive, or everything is going to be more expensive, and I thought, nope, I don't want to collect them because then it's just going to be too expensive. So the Constructicons, I think, look awesome. I know they're super divisive. People hate them or love them. I think they look cool, but I'm not interested in collecting Devastator. I do want the Combaticons to do Bruticus, because I love the Combaticons. Onslaught is one of my favorite Decepticons, but if prices are going up, as we've been told they most likely are, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to afford collecting Combaticons, especially if I want to finish up the primes. So there's going to be a lot of hard decisions, you know. And when the reason for these prices going up, you know, if those ever go away, then as with any product, when its price goes up, I doubt the price will go back down. So, yeah, I mean, if they do, I'll be happy. But you know, $24 for a deluxe is already enough money that I will buy the deluxe only if I really, 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 really want it. Not just like, oh, hey, that looks cool. Fugitive Wasp looks really fun. When I see him on the shelf, I'm like, oh, that looks cool. I'd like to have that. $24. Okay, I don't need it. And that's why. I'm talking with my hands a lot. Do I always do this on stream? Titan Returns Sentinel. I'm currently trying to get him for cheap somewhere. Yeah, thankfully I was able to get him for $30 at my local toy store. He's pretty wobbly, but I'm happy that I have him. So, 86 Constructicon collector here. They're awesome. They do look like they're really fun. Just tuned in. How much did I miss? Paz, don't worry. We did a little preview for a video upcoming, and then we talked about a bunch of comics, including the new book 1 of Transformers. So this will be saved as a VOD. So yeah, I love collecting the figures. I've never been a huge figure collector. What am I talking about? Comics is more of what I've been collecting. But the primes, I really want to get, except Star Combo. I'm probably not going to pick that one up because I have an Optimus that works perfectly fine. So my issue is that I just keep buying Optimus Primes and Megatrons and putting them up on my shelf that I don't need, you know. And I do have Beachcomber coming. That's because I love him from the comics. And I do have 86 Ultra Magnus, which makes me want to get more 86 figures because I have Optimus, Bumblebee, Blaster. I think those are the only ones. But it makes me want to collect the entire 86 line. But I don't need to. I really don't need to, so. Could you just use some glue or something to tighten up the joints on Sentinel? I could. I don't really want to mess with him, and he just kind of stands there in the background anyways. He's able to stand. I normally just have his arms crossed like this, kind of. And here, I'll even just do this here. He stands perfectly fine, so there's no need for me to mess with his joints. I try really hard not to mess with my figure's joints because when I was a child, I did do that all the time to try and tighten up the joints, and I ruined so many toys. And so now I'm so cautious against doing it. I'd love to grow my collection, but any decent figure is over $60 to $70 minimum here. Yeah, things are expensive, and I understand it. These are not life essentials. You know, it's not essential that we own these toys. There's nothing wrong with owning toys. There's nothing wrong with purchasing and owning things that make you happy or that are fun. Of course not. But they're not essentials to life. And so when they become more expensive, it is a bummer, but at the same time, you know, I can only complain so much. I can only be upset so much because at the end of the day, I still have a mortgage to pay, still have bills to pay, things like that. I see someone asking, Pumpkin asks, favorite Transformers figure. Let me look at my shelf here and see. My favorite right now, I would say of the year so far, has been the Legacy Generation 1 Optimus Prime that I have up there. He's just so much fun. He's just pure fun. I love him so much. It's just so much. Rest says, right now my favorite is Transformers Devastation Prime. Just a fun figure to mess around with. Interesting. I decided not to get that one. I have plenty of G1 Primes, but he does look like he's a lot of fun. Thoughts on GoBots? We need more GoBots. After Age of the Primes is over, can we get a GoBots line? Although I guess also one of my favorite figures of all time is One Step Changer's Soundwave. See, this is the problem here. I have not watched Earthspark yet. Nothing against it. Nothing for it. I just haven't watched it yet. I really like this design for Soundwave. I love this transformation, these different modes. And I see the... I'm going to call it Deluxe. I don't know if it's called Deluxe. The new Deluxe Earthspark Soundwave, and I really want it, but I don't need it. I don't have a huge connection to the show. The design is cool, but I already have this guy, and that's what's got to stop in my life, especially with prices going up. I can't just walk into a store and be like, that looks cool, I'm gonna buy it. I can't afford that anymore, so unfortunately. I'm prioritizing getting the Constructicons first and have Devastator be my very first combiner. That's a good idea, Pumpkin. From my collection, SS86 Bumblebee is surprisingly one of my favorite figures. He's so much fun to fidget around and play with. I love 86 Bumblebee. I feel like as time has gone on, people in general dislike him more and more, or say, yeah, I guess he's all right. I think he's a perfect figure, an almost near perfect figure. 9.5 out of 10. And I only say that because I can't think of... Mine's a little hard to tap together in the transformation, so maybe 9 out of 10. But people, I feel like, kind of look at SS86 Bumblebee and pretend as if he's, not that great. I think he's almost perfect. I get they don't like the black windows and that the paint doesn't match in certain areas. That doesn't bug me because, that's just life. Painted paint versus the paint color being that way. I mean, Optimus here, his chest and arms don't match, so. But I mean, that's just, that's the way things go. So it doesn't bug me that much. 86 Hot Rod, he's getting a reissue. I'm so excited. Dr. Lockdown was going to sell me his 86 Hot Rod, but I told him it's all right. We're just going to wait. That way I can get the reissue. So very, very excited for the reissue on that. Depending on the price, I will be getting that. Let's see here. I have an AOE Grimlock and a Studio Series Optimus Prime. Nice. If you do watch Earthspark Season 1 may be the best it gets. Season 2 was not great, and Season 3 is basically working with what Season 2 left over. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that Season 2 and 3 were not good. Once 86 Cliff Jumper is coming out, it's over, though. I'm getting my Yellow Park Starscream to do his thing. My dogs are barking in the background. Sorry, guys. I have the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Studio Series 86 Cliff Jumper. I love it. I'm interested to see if the new Studio Series Cliff Jumper that's coming out for 86 is going to be the Bumblebee figure. If it is, I might have to get that. But I do love the what is it, Earthrise Cliff Jumper mold for Cliff Jumper. I have Netflix Bumblebee, which I actually need to ship to a friend, and I'm not the hugest fan of it. And they have that retro Bumblebee, which is in nicer colors. Still not my favorite Bumblebee. I think 86 Bumblebee is better. I'm pointing this way because that's where my shelf is. Sorry, guys. I wish they would make a Devastation Bumblebee figure. I love that design so much. They might, Space. They might. Praying the reissue is magenta. Guys, I'm gonna go check on my dogs real quick. I will be right back. You can look at all these figures. We'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry. Had to let the dogs out. They were crying at the door. All right, let's catch up here. Just finished reorganizing a ton of my shelves. And I've never realized how many figures I have that I don't necessarily need. There's a lot I love, but I should slow down as prices rise. Yep. I get that too. I just went through and sold a bunch of my Siege figures that I got in a big eBay lot that I never really wanted. You know, it's just time to let go of them. That's actually what funded this purchase. Delta BRB. My dogs are barking, which is normal, but I think they needed to go outside to go to the bathroom. Has there been a new Hasbro Pulse stream announcing new TF figures yet? Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. A lot of people have been talking about official news of Hasbro saying the new prices of figures. I have not seen that either. I have not seen any official new prices from Hasbro. I'm going to get this guy back in his pose and put him back on the shelf here. Yeah, people act as if this B is not that great. I think he's wonderful. Last figure I got was Studio Series AOE Prime. Honestly, I mean, it endeared me to the design a lot more. Yeah, I am interested in that one. I'll probably wait for the Nemesis Prime version. But yeah, I think Studio Series 86B is fantastic. Just a wonderful figure, especially with Optimus. Hey, Carnage Creations. Guys, this is the culprit right here. Carnage Creation is the reason why I'm out here trying to buy figures that I don't need. His reviews are so great and so amazing. His thumbnails are fantastic. Best thumbnails in the community. I'm out here like, I'm not going to buy these figures. I don't need the aerial bots. And then he drops all these reviews recently. I'm like, I guess I need the aerial bots now. Carnage Creations. Homewrecker, my wife, Mrs. Tryon wants to speak to you, Carnage, about this. Mrs. Tryon wants to speak to you about this. Do you think I should pre-order the Constructicon double pack now rather than later? Yeah, probably, Slunk. I don't know if you'll be able to lock in your price since we're currently at the point where prices might be going up. But boo, Carnage making Delta broke. Yeah, guys, I'm so angry with Carnage Creations. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to his channel, and we're going to hit the subscribe button and leave nice comments on all his videos because he needs way more subscribers. That'll show him. That'll show him to stop messing with me. That's what Mrs. Tryon wants you to do. Dude, you'll never believe me. That's so bad. But when you said B was fantastic, I was halfway through typing that. Yeah, I think here's the thing. I understand. I'm gonna move some of these guys out of the way. I understand if people have some issues with Studio Series 86 Bumblebee. Sorry, I gotta reach my arm over here to get. Megatronus is not standing for some reason. I understand if they have some issues. I get being a little disappointed that the yellow doesn't match, but to me, those are not like issues that make me hate the figure. I look at it and I'm like, oh yeah, it's probably hard to get paint and plastic to match perfectly color. And it's just a non-issue for me. And so that's why I feel like he's such a great figure. And I don't think people hate him. I just think he gets, as of recent, he's been getting a lot of, not hate, but disdain recently. And I'll actually show why. Let me grab it. I'm gonna grab these boxes here. Pretty sure it's this one. Yes. It's because people like this mold better. I don't have the new retro one, and I'm not gonna get the retro one. I do think the retro one has better colors than this Netflix one. Hold on, this background music is getting a little loud. Let me catch up on chat here. Silverbolt 100%. I won't be getting. I can't afford it. Hey, Spidey. I can see it now. Thumbnails everywhere saying the Carnage Delta Trion situation is insane. Yeah, so I think people are dissing on this figure a little more, especially now because we have this coming back with the what is it called? The retro series at Walmart, which I do think the colors on that figure are way better than this. This yellow is just not for me, and I'm trying to transform him here. I like this alt mode. I think it's cool to see the Volkswagen, but for me personally, this I'm just realizing his window over here is busted off. This figure is actually being shipped out to Bob the Doctor. Bob, I'm sorry, I did not realize he's missing his rear view window. This, just for me personally, this figure works fantastic for Cliff Jumper for me, and it's just not as good for Bumblebee. Primarily, I think, because of his big goofy feet. JSP is back. I'm not a fan of Earthrise Bumblebee for 86 because it just doesn't look like he did in the cartoon. So yeah, that's the thing everybody says about 86 Bumblebee is that he doesn't look like he did in the cartoon. His alt mode, he looks like the original Penny Racer toy, and that doesn't bug me a whole lot. But I understand if that does bug other people because they want an accurate figure to the movie or to the cartoon. So I definitely understand that. I'm trying to remember how this pops off. Like that. This flips down. This flips back up. Oh wait, this got to come back down. I don't know if you can hear how tight this guy's joints are. I've transformed him like once. Yeah, I don't know. Just for me personally, this does not scream Bumblebee to me. Maybe that's just me. Surely that doesn't go like that. Surely I have this backwards. Yeah, like that. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, this is just not as... I mean, it's Bumblebee, and I can see it, but I just like this one so much more as Bumblebee. So, that being said, you know, for... when it comes to the mold... I do love the mold. I mean, I have both Cliff Jumpers, and I want all of these molds other than the mold. I want Hubcap. I really want to get Hubcap, and then Bug Bite. But Bug Bite is like $80. And again, $80 for a deluxe this size is just not worth it for me. It's just not. It's not worth it for me. So I'm gonna catch up on chat here. Do you think we'll ever get a figure of Shredhead or Optimus with Megatron's arm? I hope for Shredhead. I really hope we get a Shredhead figure. Optimus with Megatron's arm, I'm not sure on that. I'm not sure, but it seems like the third-party world has got that covered for us. Honestly, the only issue with Retro B is that his eyes are silver and not painted, unfortunately. I did not know that. Interesting. Netflix B, from my knowledge, is the only copy of the mold that actually decent joint tolerances. That's actually interesting because mine is pretty solid. He's got good joint tolerances. I bought this guy for, please don't make fun of me, $40. I know, because I really wanted him. This guy is the loosest figure I own. However, this version of the mold is super tight. Because I believe this was the original use of the mold, so probably mold degradation just got to this guy. So that's why these guys stay in vehicle mode for me. Also, the colors are too orange on Earthrise. Yeah, they're a little too orange. I don't mind Bumblebee being this type of color because it kind of makes me think of the Bayverse Bumblebee, but it is a bit much. From what I've seen, the hubcap colors are maybe a little bit better, if not a little washed out. Personally, I do actually like the brighter yellow one since I prefer the Autobot logo being on the chest. Yeah. I personally love the 86 version of Transformers over the Earthrise ones. Striker's talking to Spidey saying DNA Design made an upgrade kit for 86 Optimus that has Megatron's arm. Someone mentioned it to one of the designers that we may want arm swap capability, so we'll see when Megs releases. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I hope they do Skybound Optimus as an SS because it's a cool design Hasbro can do. I do agree with you, JS. As Hasbro is running out of Studio Series things to do, I mean, they have the whole gamer subline that they could continue for quite a while. It would be nice to see the comics, or even a sub-comic line, because we are getting the, what is it called? The Train Optimus Hearts of Steel, which I did have pre-orders for that, and I canceled my pre-orders. They're cool figures. I like the designs. But it's not like it's my favorite comic ever. And again, it's more money that I don't need to be spending on toys. So I canceled those a few months ago. I think 86 Prime is coming out next year, but without the trailer. Yes, there is an 86 Leader Optimus Prime. And we're all guessing that it's going to be the Commander class just without all the accessories. They also have dozens of concept designs to work through. They do. Who else do I have in my boxes here? Hoist. Actually have... I need to do this. Guys, I don't review toys here on the channel. I don't really review anything. That being said, and I don't want to give away too much because it's not my place to give this away. I will be doing a toy review off of this figure on another channel as a guest. That's all I can say. I'm probably not even allowed to say that much. Probably already in trouble with that creator, but and it's going to be rather special. I've cooked something up very special for the first ever Delta Try-On toy review and the last. 86 Blaster, wonderful figure. If 86 Soundwave is a partial of this mold, I would be so happy. If it's a brand new one, that's fine too. But this, I just love this guy. He's just chonky and just... I love this guy. Carnage knows the secret. Though I feel like if they're going to go into more comic designs, IDW should be first. Yeah, and they did that Fractured Friendship pack, which also I wanted. But again, $80, I don't need to spend the money on that. So, oh, dude, I want that guy. He's cheap, and I should pick him up. He'd look so good next to my Legacy Inferno. Taylor Jones here, all the way from the mountains. Crazy. Yeah, I'm such a great collector that I just keep these figures in a white bin because I don't have space to display them. I need to reach out to Bob the Doctor now to let him know that this Bumblebee is missing his windshield or his window, and it looks like he's kind of cracked here too. Interesting. So, still baffles me they never made Blaster in the Marvel Comics sublines because he's basically the face of the Marvel Transformers after a while. He was. Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't done Scrounge yet. Let's see what's in this other bin. Let's see what else I have in this bin. Ah, yes. So this is interesting. Ferric I got when he was like $10 on Walmart.com. Really fun figure. Really, really fun figure. I need Hasbro to make more of those Beast Wars figures to go alongside Legacy Inferno and Legacy Tarantulas. Yeah, we need a new depth charge. And Rampage, please. I want the Fractured 2-pack, but it's $150 AUD, which is a bit rough, yeah. Really fun figure here. This guy I got for $10. Everybody was saying he was a great figure. He is fun. Mine's super floppy. I know I can fix him, but again, I don't really feel the need to. But for $10, he was good. Lockdown, which I keep in vehicle mode. Springer, which is not mine, as well as this guy. These need to be shipped off. Also to Bob the Doctor, I owe him quite a few figures. And then Brushed Ranger's not here, I don't think, but here's Legends class. There goes my dogs barking. Cosmos, which I actually kind of like a little bit better than the Legacy figure, which is totally fine. David is getting a tattoo so he can't chat. Aw, man. That's right, you guys are getting new tattoos. Friends of the channel, Wild Dream Podcast and Wild Stream, which I'm on quite often. And then my Legends Beachcomber, which my Legacy Beachcomber, I'm very excited to get him. Carl from Carl's Collection has convinced me that I need a Beachcomber collection, and I guess that's what we're doing. So, once again, buying things that I don't need. Hasbro needs to make a comic book line solely for comic book exclusive characters. I would be for that, but I feel like the money just wouldn't be in there for. Beast Wars, I know a good podcast. You guys should check out Carnage Creations' Beast Wars podcast. Hey, Rogue, what's going on? If Hasbro were to do figures based off of Skybound as another exclusive to do G.I. Joe, they should at least give them comic-style paint jobs like the comic book figures they did for Grimlock and Shockwave. I agree. And they technically are doing a Skybound figure with the reissue of Jetfire. That does look fun. I probably won't get it, though. It's just a lot of money. Legacy Beachcomber, my beloved. I need him. Me too, Slonk. Me too. Me too, absolutely. Yeah. Guys, I think we've kind of run to the end of this stream. I don't really have much more to show off. We got the little preview of Catherine's here. Man, right as Catherine pops in. We got the preview of that next video with Mrs. Tryon. We've talked about some comics as well as some figures. I've got some more things going on today. I have a date with Swizz Prime, Mr. Skybound himself. I got to make sure I'm not late to that. Otherwise, he's going to kick me off of Teletran tapes. Excited for next week. We're getting a new issue of Skybound, and there will be a Teletran tapes episode to go with it, as there always is. So, Praying Magnus will be added back to GameStop's website, so I can have my pre-order locked in for Magnus. So thanks everybody for stopping by again. This was just, we are going to do a 1 year celebration stream, 1 year anniversary stream when that comes up, probably in June, July. And hopefully that'll be a bigger event. So we did a lot of cool things today. It's always fun to live stream, just to be able to chat with everybody and kind of get that immediate feedback. It can be a little isolating sometimes when you make content, and then being able just to sit here and chat with people is always such a fun time. So remember what I said about these books, InStockTrades.com. You don't have to pay $50 for this. They have it there for $28, and it came in perfect condition. So highly suggest picking this up. I will do some more thinking about doing a video on this. It's not really what my channel covers, physical products. I do have a second channel where I cover physical products, but I don't know if I want to put it there or not. I might want to just put it up on the main channel. So, but I might do that. I might do kind of an overview of book one. I've said to Swizz Prime and Moonbase that they need to do videos, but they are wrapped up making some fantastic content for you guys. So, SS86 Prime with the heavy black shading. That would be nice. That would be very nice. Yeah. Okay, everybody. I'm going to let the music play for a little bit, and I'll be in chat. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Thanks also for 20K subscribers. Again, it's just a number. Subscribers aren't the most important thing in the world, but it is nice to see so many people click that button and to be invested in the content that I make. And the content I make would not exist without this right here. So thank you to Daniel Warren Johnson for making peak Transformers content. So thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. And see you in the next video. And we will also see you in the next live stream. So thanks, guys. I really do appreciate it. Have a great one. Hey, remember, Mother's Day is tomorrow. So get something nice for your mom. Spend some time with her. It's important. Okay? All right. Hey, I'm back. I forgot to ask a question. I know most everybody will be gone at this point because I said goodbye. But I forgot to ask a question. Would you guys like to see an office tour of the space that I make my videos in my collection? Just let me know in the chat. Again, I know I already said goodbye. I'm sorry. The viewership's going to drop. I'm so sorry. But if you want to see an office tour, let me know if that's something you want to see. All right. For real. Bye-bye.